your opponent, Sean, has actually put up on X that to you, or to everyone, I guess, but to you in particular, stand and bang.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's his go. I mean, he's very good. Defensively, he's very good on defense. Yeah. But what do you think about that? And how do you respond to that?
My response was clear. There are no pacts between lions and men. That was my direct response. But that was exactly what we did the last time. He said to death, let's go, let's fight to death. And the man threw a jab and a teep for 5 rounds. And this is stats, you can go check it. For 23 minutes, I went forward. He went forward for 2 minutes. That is a very clear indication of who's there to fight and who's there to defend.
He's not banging. He's moving
He's
around.
not banging. And listen, very effective style. That's his style. But let's not go and act as if Sean Strickland fights are entertaining. The man has 8 split decision victories. Well, 8 split decisions in his 6 victories, 2 losses against me and Cannonier. That is not somebody that's looking for an exciting fight. Split decision means it's a very close fight. And that has to say something. I have 2 decisions over my whole career. Split decision is because he's not doing anything to prove that he's winning that fight, but he's not doing anything to make him lose the fight.
Do you mean he's fighting not to lose?
He's fighting not to lose.
As opposed to fighting to win.
He's good at frustrating people. He prioritizes defense over offense, and I prioritize offense because I'm there to give the people that spend their hard-earned money on pay-per-views and arena tickets a show, a fight. And I'm in there to kill someone. I'm not in there to point my way to victory. And I think that's where the biggest difference between us comes.
You come across a pretty nice guy, but is there a glaze over when you walk in the ring? Does something happen to Dricus when you walk in there? Like you just said, you're going there to kill somebody. I mean, that's a mindset.
Yeah.
How do you sort of become that person?
Yeah, I think people always ask me, do I listen to a certain type of music to hype me up? I'm like, I'm fighting a guy in front of millions of people that wants to kill me, and I want to kill him. That's all the motivation you need. I'm pretty hyped up when I get out there. But yeah, it's a good question. That's what I always tell people. The mindset, the people always go, you have to be able to, you have to be willing to die when you get in there. That's true. You have to. But that's a minimum requirement. The harder part here is, can you kill a man when you have to? Yes, I can. So I'm willing to die and I'm willing to take a life.
I mean,
I know that.
Yeah, you know that.
I know that. When I go in there, if there's no ref, if the ref doesn't stop it, I'm not stopping. I can be sitting on you for 10 minutes, bashing your face. If the ref doesn't say stop, I'm not stopping. And that is the question that me as a modern day gladiator has to ask myself. Am I still willing to die? Absolutely. That's easy. It's, are you willing to kill a man in front of his family? Yes, I am. And that's why I'm the world champion. Because I say yes to that answer, that question every single time. But that's Dricus Du Plessis. That's not Dricus, the guy that you see right here. I can't be living like that the whole time. And I think that's for a lot of athletes a problem. Differentiating against the man in society and the man in the arena. It's 2 very different people. I can't live my life just willing to kill everybody that wrongs me or no. But when the time comes in life as well, when you have to defend your family, when you have to be able to pull that trigger.
So when he fought Israel, Israel was on his back foot the whole time, and I kept thinking to myself, you're sort of putting yourself in a difficult position when you keep walking up against the cage, especially when Israel's normally with hands, better off with hands and feet. He's not really a wrestler. But when he fought you, it was a totally different deal. He was on the back foot the whole time. Do you strategize with your team? I presume you've got a big team. Do you sit down and say, okay, we're going to be on the front foot the whole time. I'm going to take the fight to him. Knowing that, as you say, he's a great defensive fighter. He's got the roll and everything on him. So how hard or how serious is the whole strategizing, and do you train into the strategy, or or is this just, Dricus, that's my style, I stick to my style, I don't change my style for anybody? How's it work?
Well, there's 2 sides to that. So the strategy for me is very important. I've probably watched every fight that there is to watch.
Every division, not
And
just
every
yours.
division. I love fighting. I don't miss a UFC. I love fighting. I love watching it. I love, because I can learn from what's great about this sport, it's so quick evolving that you see a UFC fight, you maybe miss one weekend, miss another weekend, you watch another. It's almost a different sport. The people just get better so quickly. So you have to stay on top of that. Now, in terms of watching tape of everybody, especially in my division, watching the guys that's coming up, it doesn't help this guy burst on the scene and now you're too late. You have to know in the back of your mind what this guy does well, where his faults are, where he's good at. And the strategy, I make my strategy the way I see the fight. I see his strengths, his weaknesses, my strength, the stuff where I can struggle. My coach does the same. Some teammates does the same. And we discuss it and we see where the similarities are. And that's how we compile our game plan. This fight a bit different because we've had 5 rounds in there with each other. But that can also be trouble because you can't just go out there and think it's the same guy. He's going to make adjustments. I made adjustments. I believe the guy who evolved the most in the last year, because that's how long it's been, is the guy who's going to win this fight. The guy who has made the necessary adjustments to be better for this round is the guy who's going to win this fight. And I made sure of that.
So you evolving.
Evolving the whole time.
You're evolving your fight game.
The whole time. I mean, if you look at the guy who fought Adesanya versus the guy who fought Strickland the first time, complete different fighter. And if you, like on the 9th of Feb, the guy who fought Adesanya would get his ass kicked against the Dricus that's going to show up that night. I know that for a fact. And the game plan is very important, but it's a fight. You get a lot of people, and that's one thing I have to give to Strickland. He's always down to fight. I know he doesn't listen to his coaches. I know he is a radical. So, mentally, when he gets frustrated, it's a nightmare for a coach, I would assume. But he's always there to fight. And that's something you can't teach. Because you can have all the systems in the world, the best coach, the best team, the best technology. You can have everything, the perfect game plan. At the end of the day, it's a fight. If you bring your game plan, I punch you in the mouth. If you bring your game plan, I just overpower you, you get tired. Now, that fatigue will make a coward of you very quickly. You forget about game plan very quickly because you don't know what my game plan is. So you can have this plan in your mind. Oh, he did this in this fight, this in this fight. Now, all of a sudden, you're feeling my strength. You're feeling my presence in there. You're feeling the pressure that I put on you. It's really hard if you have a forward game plan and you're fighting a guy that's keeping you on your back foot to implement your game plan.